Not recording that, but when you're ready, I'm ready.
Yeah, push it. Let's go.
Well, it's live.
Oh, we're live?
Yeah.
We're not Memorex? Recording in progress. There's a blank screen here.
Because you're on a Microsoft blue screen of death machine.
There we go.
Bow, 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 bow.
All right. All right already. All right already. Hear ye, hear ye.
All right.
Hear ye, hear ye. Man, I watched the Guy Ritchie Camelot, whatever, King Arthur movie. Never even saw it advertised. It's from like 2017.
Yeah, I don't know anything. I'm totally
No Guy Ritchie though.
Oh, Madonna's ex-husband?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know, but
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels,
Oh, yeah.
Snatch, a
Yeah.
couple great movies. Really explored camera angles, and he's a great man. I got to tell you, this thing was over the top with the CGI. I think I needed to be, speaking of psilocybin, to really appreciate it, but I wasn't.
Speaking of, let's see, we sold that at 38, 39. How high is it now? It was 43 last time we checked. It's 45. So again, sell early.
Yeah, I mean, hope it's the worst thing you do because you save shekels, right?
I mean, it's up another, but we bring this up just because this is reality. Like, I sold it at 38, 39. And I felt good. I felt great about it. It was up 10, $11. Now it's up another 7. So look at that, baby. That is through the effing roof. But this is like look at any chart except for one that we'll talk about today. But pretty much every chart in the universe looks like this because apparently yesterday the Fed talked about tapering. The bonds didn't really, they sold off and now they're back. Like, I'm really confused.
Not only is Matt confused, he's a little raw today.
Well, no, I'm just confused at how this market is doing what it's doing, and I'm just sitting there going, hocus pocus. Like there's, I don't know.
Matt, well, you know what? Let me bring something up here because maybe we gain some clarity sooner rather than later, Matt, because the messenger planet Mercury enters the dark heart of Scorpio on Friday, November 5th. Where it will stay forming into Sagittarius on November 24th. Mercury rules communication of all kinds, from sonnets to sexting, trolling to extolling. Mercury makes its rounds through all 12 zodiac signs, but under the influence and intensely suspicious Scorpio, our conveyances take the form of investigation. It's pretty apropos, Matt, because you usually investigate shit when you don't know what the fuck is going on. Right?
I do, and I've been over investigating, and I am a Scorpio, so that all applies rightfully and clearly to me. And that's exactly, and maybe that's my angst this morning. I just feel like, like in my gut, something's coming. Like there's some news event, some bomb going to be dropped. Somebody, building back broker. I don't know. I don't understand it anymore.
Well, we talk about the zodiac now and again, and the moon phases. You don't need to look very far if you have somebody in the emergency room department that works to know that there is something to the moon phase. And I don't know. Yeah. We got a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of seemingly balls in the air.
Bitcoin back, down 1,700. It got up there to 64, back to 61. I mean, we're just
can I share?
You may, I think.
Well, I don't need to share the screen. I missed getting stopped out this morning by one fucking tick. That shit never happens to me. So,
well, congratulations.
All right, man. Listen, I wanted to bring this up before we start talking further price discovery. I saw this. I thought it was great, and it reminded me of the Rolling Stones. Get a Girl with Faraway Eyes. Just a great mockery of a country tune. And in a mockery of a country tune, it's a great country tune as far as I'm concerned. From the album Some Girls, 1978. And I think they could do a reboot, Matt. And it would be Get a Girl an unvaccinated girl. That's right. When you're downright disgusted and life ain't worth a dime, get a girl, get an unvaccinated girl. Because if you have an unvaccinated girl, you can't take her to a restaurant. She's not allowed in the clubs. And this guy says, follow me for more money-saving relationship advices. My hat is a tip to Richard Dick Whitman.
Did you see this Karen rant on a plane?
Oh yeah, of course.
The other day where she was standing there and everybody's recording her, and the stewardess, flight attendant, is being I don't know how she didn't hit her. That's why I couldn't that's why I couldn't be a stewardess.
You couldn't be forward facing to the public, Matt. Let's just say that.
No.
I had a hard time myself on the food truck. Anyway.
But she had no mask on, and she was complaining that the guy she was sitting
because she doesn't wear a mask because she's got asthma. So
she's got asthma, but she's been double vaccinated. But she can't threaten her child because this guy's supposedly, she says, unvaccinated. Who knows? The guy was probably like, get into the window seat. I'm taking the aisle. And I think she just wanted the whole 2 rows by herself. Anyways, I mean, it went on and on. Like, this angst is just, it's off the hook. And, I reached out to a couple of friends from Detroit thinking about this yesterday when we were talking about, Ford employing the Build Back broker model of everybody must be vaccinated if you're salaried. I mean, what's wrong with Ford? What's going on? Like, are they really going to do that?
Well, I saw
so
that.
I made a few calls.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard, I have not gotten any feedback, but I can't imagine this is not causing angst in many markets where these companies supposedly are going to play along with the Build Back broker model. And then we're at all-time highs. NASDAQ up 13.4% since October 1st, by the way, which is, wow, crazy considering where we are.
Well, I saw Matt, Quebec has canceled their vax mandate, and Ontario will cancel theirs, I think. I thought they already did. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. There's all this like, one is, one isn't, and another one's back. We're not canceling. And then Netherlands is reinstating, masks. I'm like, oh my God.
All right, man.
We're only halfway through the 7 years of this thing, I believe, still. So,
Matt, two decades to flatten the curve. That's what we're working on.
Yes. Let's talk something.
Let's talk something fun and engaging, and also an incredible what the fuck is going on. Like, how is this not 8? You brought up a good point, 12. How is it not 12 teams? Give the top 4 a bye.
Yeah, and then you still have the people whining Cincinnati should be in the top 4. Well, I tend to agree. They beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame, and just because their conference sucks, they beat Notre Dame. Why is that any different than Alabama losing to Texas A&M, who's not in this top group? To me, again, you could get the complaints, but I think the optimum number is 12. You get 4 teams that are top ranked, and by the committee, the judging committee, and they get to get a bye. The other 8, which would look something like this in the first round, play down to 4, and then you're in the Elite 8. I mean, right away, you're in the Elite 8, which leaves you just with 3 more games if you make it to the championship game. And people are like, that's too many games. I'm like, shit, Alabama plays 14, 15 now in the regular season. Most teams only play 11 or 12, but everybody's kind of playing 12. So cut out 1 or 2, and then you're back to, a maximum of.
Especially 15, since, they have the 14. Time. The bowl season is 3 or 4 weeks long now anyway.
Right. And I don't need to see Michigan host Youngstown State in early September, or Western Michigan. Sorry, but I don't need to see that game.
Wait a second, though. Youngstown State and Western Michigan love that payday.
Well, this is their problem, though.
I agree, though.
It's not Michigan's job or Alabama's job to subsidize Jackson State, especially when Deion Sanders is getting rich with all the commercials he's doing for Geico. It's the best gig ever. He doesn't.
All right, man, listen. Let's do some.
He really doesn't have to win. He's not playing for a real football program, Jackson State. It's a great deal. So, It's just like NFTs, and it's just like college players being able to get paid. I mean, I saw the Michigan quarterback tweeting or Instagramming out, thanks for the support, not Cash App, but another crypto thing. I'm like, fuck, man, if you're giving money to Cade McNamara, I mean, that's your guy.
You leave the Irish alone.
No, that's Michigan's quarterback.
Yeah, I know. He's Irish.
I'm making fun of I know he's Irish, but he's from Nevada, and he's not going to be a superstar. He's not going to be Tom Brady. Let's be real.
Listen, Tom Brady's not even Tom Brady. Matt, let's talk about a collateral damage that we've seen in the sporting world, and that is sports betting. PENN Gaming today out with their earnings, and we've talked about this for months, probably going on a year now. We've talked about generational wealth that Davey Boy has, and he keeps saying he hasn't sold any stock. I don't know if that's true still or before these earnings, but we talked about just the incredible amount.
We started talking about it in the first quarter when it was left side parabolic, and we said we will go back to $40.
Bring it up. Let's look at the chart, because
today, as we speak, we're trading 58, down another $15, 20% today, which is a new low, by the way, for the year. So we're going, this 76 was the high from 2020. We doubled, and that was when we were going off on Davey, when he was just proud of himself and how, but he wouldn't sell, like you said, and we kept saying, sell every rally. Nothing's changed. And this thing is really ugly now. Now it's
what were the earnings?
A shorter term. The earnings were bad, is what they were.
Well, obviously.
They were down they were supposed to be 80 cents a share EPS, and they were 50 cents or something like that. Let me bring it up. They were 85 cents estimate, 52-cent actual. Sales of 1.5 billion, which again times 4 is 6 billion. Market cap of 9.8. So, only paying 1 1/3 on the market cap right now at today's prices. But again, this chart to me still says, Bob, that it's going to go to 40. We've been calling for 40. That's the top of the value here, and eventually we're going to settle into the high teens again. It will go back there. It's just a matter of if. Everything gets overvalued, everything gets undervalued. At some point in between, you find buyers and sellers. Right now, and as it has been for 7-8 months, the Bears are in control. Nothing's changed.
Davey Boy, I hope to God you've been buying puts and selling calls. Protect that generational wealth, and then you can say, I still have never sold any stock. Congratulations. Right. Matt, we have really done well, I think, trying to stay away from the trigger points of politics in particular. But I love this that you shared. The real political divisions today are no longer left, right, liberal, conservative, progressive, traditionalist, or even Democratic, Republican. The real division is between those who will accept a technocratic biosecurity surveillance regime and those who will resist. And I have not read a more true statement ever, because it doesn't matter what stripes you wear, especially in this country. Nobody resonates with the fucking, I'm going to tell you what we're going to teach your kids. I'm going to tell you what you put in your body. I'm going to tell you and by the way, how about the diet? We're going to tell you what's healthy for you, and then not only that, we're going to tell you all these things, but we're going to continue to do whatever the fuck we want. And, we're going to pin it on you. And no more clearly illustrated than this, revealed Ursula von der Leyen used private jet to travel just 31 miles. She's taken air taxis 18 out of her last 34 official trips since 2019. Rules for thee, not for me.
Especially when you're a government official. What a great gig. I mean, I got to be at a meeting. I mean, really, you can't just zoom in for that meeting. Is it really that important for you to,
I want to know. I want to know the specifics of the 31-mile jaunt. I mean, I don't even know a private jet could get up and fly less than.
Well, she probably did a 2-looper. because they had to minimize, the route to 50 miles maybe. So she had to go around twice to pay for it. There's a minimum. She got an extra drink. And a foot rub. I think is what happened.
Right. All right, Matt, I wanted to share this one because we talk all the time about please take profits. Please take profits. Like, you cannot spend money that you haven't banked out of a trade.
Hold on. I just our crack production analyst just came up with a shot of her on her last plane flight. There it is.
What the fuck? That is so disturbing. I didn't need to see that. Thank you. We had spare ribs yesterday, and I do enjoy chewing on the cartilage.
We did not. You did.
I just threw up. Toe cartilage. Oh. All right. Anyway, this was from Crypto Bitlord.
Kid Rock. What?
With the accountant and lawyers tomorrow, and I'm signing off this app for good. Fuck you, Jack. Fuck you, Twitter. I'm out of here. Made generational wealth. We talked that about with Davey Boy. Made generational wealth on Shiba, and I'm out for good. Love you always will, but it's a new life for me now. Listen to your heart and believe in yourself. Crypto Bitlord, congratulations. Godspeed. And we talk about it all the time. I wrote a song about it, Matt, especially in the crypto sphere. Congratulations. Let's look at Shiba, because Shiba is not behaving for the Bitcoin bulls.
It has not been behaving, and the day we talked about it was the high, and we said the right side of the parabola will come, just a matter of when, not if, and it has come. We have been cut in half, which is a good spot if you were fortunate enough to sell up there at 0.88 or 0.89 was the high. And this thing is down, touched all the way down today to 0.04343 or so. It's bounced a little bit since. So, that was fun. That was exciting. Another pet rock gone in half. But it's still, a 25 bazillion market cap still?
I don't know. It's ridiculous is what it is.
It's down 12%.
But anyway, don't you love to hear somebody that rang huge and said, hey, I'm out of here?
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me, man, I know I'm sure you've seen this, is you go to Vegas, right? And everybody's got their allotted amount of money that they're willing to risk on the trip, right? And then you see some guy, let's say he's going to risk $1,000, right? And he bangs it for like $6 or $8 grand, right? And some guys like $6 or $8 grand, dude, I'm out of here. I'm done. Never steps foot in the sports book or the casino again. And then you see the other guy that goes 1,000 to $8 grand and then ends up going home down $3 for the trip, down $3 grand for the trip when he was only going to risk 1,000 to begin with, right? It just happens.
This would be the good point for him. He bought it when it was a $41.5 billion market cap. Now it's down to 26.5. Yeah, he should go all in right now. Go all in.
Oh, do you feel sorry for the guys doubling up here? Double the mustard.
Double the trouble.
All right, Matt. Breaking news.
Mm.
Hold on a second here. Breaking news. China to supercharge uranium race with 150 nuclear reactors planned for the next 15 years. For sure, China needs energy, right? For sure they do. And, there has been, you've been a big advocate of nuclear. There has been great strides in the safety.
I think it's the true, clean, efficient energy. I do. Yeah.
I only one problem with this.
Mm-hmm.
And that is from the movie Chernobyl. The top-down authoritative model is very, when things go south, it's very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody on the lower rung wants to take any responsibility. And even as you go up higher, nobody wants that kind of trouble on their plate, and they just push it away. We'll talk about that tomorrow. And as the movie Chernobyl pointed out, very dangerous when you're talking with nuclear energy. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and let me start with this. All right. Here's a good example. Evergrande, right? The Chinese real estate thing. This thing was halted for 2 weeks, basically stopped trading on the 13th, reopened on the 27th. rallied from, $2 basically when it reopened up here to 314, right? Huge rally percentage wise. It's back, Bob, to 230 and down another 3%. This is what happens. Like they're kicking the can down the road here, whether it's 3333 or 6666 is another version of Evergrande also that trade. And this is, it's also going to fucking zero.
Nothing to see there. Move along. They had to add a 6.
But why delay the pain? So I bring this up because, anybody that read the news is not involved with nuclear now and they hear us. All right, a couple things happened. The news is out, but this stock moved not on that news, right? It moved on earnings. And let me bring up the earnings. This is why it's hard for me to get excited about it. They reported a loss of revenues, 50 million less than they expected, and a standardized, their earnings also were a loss, a bigger loss, 7x the loss, really, 10x the loss. So that's not good. I don't want to buy this, especially at these prices. So I look at this chart, and this is just a 10-minute 1 month chart. And if we pull back a little bit, we're at the top of value there. We're going to be pushing a move that since March has gone up 5.5, 6x.
I love that too, that analysis, because they say they're going to build 150 plants over the next 15 years. What is the timeline for them to actually be online?
Again, that's not a trade that I'm going to be in. I'm not, again, if it's Warren Buffett and he wants to own a controlling stake and pull cash out of it, maybe, but they're not making cash. That pays a dividend of 0.24%. 0.24%.
Let's stick with the cigarettes. All right, Matt, I just wanted to point out one thing with this CCJ looking healthier because it's strictly a uranium play. Bring up Rio Tinto because obviously not the case. They didn't get the bump. Although they're mentioned in every article that I read about uranium mining, Rio's in there.
Good.
But the stock certainly doesn't look very healthy to me.
Yeah, no, it does not look good at all. Matter of fact, but the difference is that this one's more attractive if you're looking for something to buy. You're closer to the 47 low, which would be where I would stop. And you're getting into the value chunk right now. So between here, 60 and 57 might be a good time for you if you're looking for a 15-year hold, like Bob's talking about. Not what I do, but if you are looking for a 15-year high, this might be something that you want to look at here. I don't know. It did see a high of nearly 100 back here in May, and that
coincided with the pump in gold. Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
Pretty sure it did. Oh, get our crack production team on that.
Well, man,
who do we got in research?
I don't know the date specifically. This one happens to be May, so I'll look at the May 1st, just since you brought it up. You kind of just caught me. I said sure because I don't know. It's 1792, up $30 or so today. Again, gold keeps holding. Let's see. Yeah, back in May it was 1919. That was June, so it went it rolled over before gold did, but yeah, close enough for Govy work. That was back in here. Here was May. We were trading 1830, went to 1919, and we're at the same price we were in May, by the way, when it comes to gold. So you haven't missed anything there.
Have not missed a thing.
Yeah, as we talked about, as long as it stays above that 1675, 1650, gold still bullish. Below that, going to 1500.
Another thing I wanted to talk about just on this thread, a lot of if you're interested in uranium plays, a lot of these plays are in Australia, a lot of these firms. So you got to send your money, buy Australian dollars, right? Invest in the Australian stock market. And that exposes you to currency risk. We talked about this before. Yeah, great. You buy a uranium miner in Australia and it has a 20% rally, but the currency takes a 30% hit. And that's not out of the realm of possibilities with these things.
Right.
It's a metric that you have to pay attention to. The dollar, we talk about the dollar all the time as a basket against all of these currencies. But individually, both the Canada and the Aussie had a pretty good run here in the last part of this year. But they've been giving it away. Boy, have they given it away the past week. So anyway, that's just something that, there's alpha on the currency play side of these things. And it's alpha that can be positive or negative for sure. So you got to pay attention to that if you're going to invest money in a different currency, that there's currency risk.
Got to ask you your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers now that everybody, Sports Illustrated is trying to,
they're trying to cruise. Listen, if
everybody's trying to crucify him.
He never says he was vaccinated. He says there's plenty of players on the team that aren't.
Right.
He never said I am not.
Well, and again, I remember in July, August when they said everybody's got to be, otherwise games were going to be canceled. Then I never heard anything again, and that nobody addressed that. And obviously that didn't happen because nobody's games are being canceled, nobody's pay is being docked, and so the NFL just said this, and they said, let's go Brandon, right? I guess they support Let's Go Brandon also because there's a lot of money against Let's Go Brandon, clearly. And the build back broker model, which is what it is not working, and that nobody's voting for it. They've lost all control.
Incredible too, how the spin is, it's still a race thing. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. These white candidates are getting white votes because of systemic racism.
Well, no.
The lieutenant governor is a black woman.
That's not true. You let the people know you're being sarcastic.
That's the narrative, though.
That's the narrative. But you didn't say that. You said they are voting because they're racist.
No. That's the narrative. That's the narrative. That's
the narrative.
And back to the first that people are just sick of the government telling me what the fuck I should think.
Yeah. Well,
unfortunately, there's some assholes out there, but you have to let assholes be assholes. It was said best in Team America World Police, Matt. There's dicks, there's pussies, and there's assholes. And that's just the way it is. Anyway, watch the movie if you care to see the end of that. All right, I don't have anything else here really today.
I wanted to talk a little culture, I'm watching the 100-foot wave, the story about these guys that are,
Wait a second, let's just say that it's a story about people that are insane.
They're insane. They really are insane. But, like we talk about so often, the root of his insanity comes from, I laugh because like this Garrett McNamara, another bloke, was, searching for the 100-foot wave. And then, he moves to Portugal, to Navarre, to this crazy place where these monster waves, dude. And these guys are towing in out there. But the origin story is more interesting. And they didn't get to it until the third of 6 episodes, talking about his mom and his dad. He basically grew up on a commune, and the commune was called Jesus Christ Amen Lightning, was the leader of this commune and who they believed in. So they were all walking around like they were Jesus in bare feet for 2 years, he and his brother and his mom. And they were walking to Mount Shasta, which isn't far from us, and then in Northern California, to watch the Martians take off. So there was clearly some good psychedelics, mushrooms, LSD going on in this situation. So no wonder he's seeking that adrenaline because he was Jesus Christ, Amen Lightning. It's hard. Once you've been inside that, like, how else are you going to be excited about life? And I guess the 100-foot wave is what that drove.
It's
you got to watch it because
I have watched it, and the other thing that it really sets forth, back to the quote. Hold on, let me bring the quote back up.
Well, and once again, no father around in that situation. Like, they obviously had a dad, but he was just like, I'm not.
Yeah, but it comes back to this. There's no way you get to go ride a 100-foot wave because the technocratic biosecurity surveillance regime would say that's not safe.
Right.
You don't get to do your own risk management. We're going to tell you what your risk management protocol is and get in line, motherfucker. Anyway, crazy. I thought my favorite part of the story was when he was trying to get other surfers to come there.
Right.
And he's going there in November or December in the winter. And he asked Laird Hamilton, and Laird's like, go, where, when?
Portugal?
100 foot
No.
waves. What's the temperature? No, I'll be good in Hawaii. You have a nice time on the big wave there. I just loved it. And again, his own risk reward metric. Like, yeah, I would love to ride a 100-foot wave. I would not like to ride a 100-foot wave in a wetsuit in 42-degree weather and 52-degree water temperature. Thank you. No.
Correct.
I don't know.
A couple things thinking about as we come into the weekend. There's NFL has a game tonight, Jets and Colts, and I'll bring it up because it is this will be a game I will take on the over double-digit plan, which we are all square at so far in the last 2 weeks. The Colts are up and currently favored 10.5. Take the Colts over the Jets after the Jets' crazy upset win last week. You got to take the Colts this week. And then coming up also, you're going to have 2 more games. You've got, where are we? There was 2 more. You got Buffalo -15, and I might have passed it already, but there was a third game.
I think you did.
I think I did too. But there was a third game, and
There
there
is
might
it
not
the
be.
Broncos game? Is that
I
it?
don't know. No. Yeah. You're right. The Cowboys are now 10.5. So these are your 3 games to focus on. You want to place the bet today? It's only 10 points. So you're giving Cowboys 10 points on the game tonight, on the 10.5 on the Colts, and then you got the big lay on Sunday with the Bills. And then NFL or college, we'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk. There's some interesting games coming up, but
yeah, you know what? You better tune in tomorrow because Miss Trade, the man knows college football.
I do not know pro football, and that's why we go with the simple bonehead strategy. It ends up, a little bit better than 500 is all I can tell you, but it keeps you watching.
Hey,
It's
better
all
than 50-50 has made a lot of people retirement income.
Right, exactly.
All right, man. Thank you so much, Matt. Please visit us at marketvitals.io. Please share and retweet the broadcast. Please support us by doing yourself a favor and cooking your friends and family a meal, and use the Manja TV Shrimp Mojo. So much it can do, though. It's, I really think they did a disservice to the spice, the rub, because it works great on most everything. You could put this on Davio. He'd taste good. Shrimp Mojo. Davio, I don't know about that either. Not today. You're so bitter.
Kind of surly today.
All right, Matt. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bobby. We'll talk
See
soon.
ya.